Oh, no, wait.
Oh, stop it.
Just kidding. Just
Um,
kidding.
Hello, welcome to the Fix It and Post podcast. I'm Josh.
I am Kevin. This is episode 2.
Yep, we're going to talk about the Oscar nominations today.
Yeah. So the Oscars are coming up. The Oscars are happening on February 9th, in case you were unaware. So we have the list of all the nominations pulled up here, and we'll kind of run through some of the things that what we thought about them.
Yeah. So the first one up is, you want to do Best Picture?
Yeah, we're not going to go over all the little stuff. We're just going to go over the big ones.
Yeah.
So
for Best Picture, 1917, you saw that recently, right?
Yeah, going down the list, we have Ford versus Ferrari, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite.
Yep.
So I've seen several of these, but I still need to see a few more before the February 9th.
Yeah. I'm going to hopefully watch Marriage Story this week,
yeah.
I believe.
That's actually something interesting that an interesting point that I wanted to touch on, because last year there was a really big push for Roma at the Oscars to win Best Picture. And if you don't know, Roma was a Netflix original movie directed by Alfonso Cuarón. It was also a foreign language film, which was another big reason. But it didn't win, but it was going to be a really big deal. It was a big deal that a Netflix film was nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah.
And because Netflix has been kind of moving into that creating really high quality, big budget movies,
especially originals, because they're kind of like shying away from making deals with other companies lately. Because they've been in debt for
they're
a
producing
while. So
a lot of
they're trying to
a lot
produce
of really high quality
stuff,
original content. And some people were really happy that Roma was going to be nominated for Best Picture, and there were some people, I'm talking high level people in Hollywood, who were really kind of upset. I mean, a particularly notable one was Steven Spielberg. He was very
was he really?
Yeah, he was not supportive of Roma being this is what I heard and read about, was he wasn't supportive of Roma being nominated for Best Picture, because the deal that Netflix usually does is they create their original movie, and then that movie goes to theaters for usually a very limited run, and then it's available on Netflix immediately.
Yeah.
And so the issue that some people took with that was that it's not encouraging people to go to the cinema, and so they felt like it didn't really count. Anyway, and so the reason I brought this up is because this year we have 2 Netflix movies nominated for Best Picture. We have The Irishman by Martin Scorsese, and then Marriage Story by Noah Baumbach.
Yep.
So
Both are very good movies from like what I've seen too, and like
I haven't seen Marriage Story. I've heard good things, but I have seen The Irishman, and The Irishman is great.
Yeah, people are like Netflix is more normalizing their own content. Like, it's becoming more normal that it's like, oh yeah, Netflix original. Like, Bird Box was a huge hit. Like, people were talking about that for like a long time.
I actually didn't even like Bird Box, but
I didn't really like Bird Box either. I thought it was just.
I just think it's interesting that last year there was a big controversy about Netflix having a movie nominated for Best Picture, and this year we have 2 Netflix movies nominated for Best Picture.
I didn't know that.
And there's also other Netflix things that are nominated for other things. The Two Popes is a Netflix original. That's adapted. It's nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay. So it's really interesting that Netflix says they're kind of changing the model of what the film industry looks like, for better or for worse. And so yeah,
they're also kind of like changing up like how like the TV model is working as well.
Right.
Because like they're releasing all of their they release like a season at a time.
Right.
Actually, there's a recent Netflix show that I was looking at. They're going back to the same model. They're releasing an episode every week.
Oh really?
I don't remember what the show's called. I should have written that down. But yeah, I was browsing through Netflix the other night, and it was like, oh yeah, new episodes every Wednesday. I was like, huh, I thought all Netflix originals.
Which is kind of.
They're also like really, sorry, not to cut you off, but like they're also like really pushing like other countries' films. There's a huge influx in my recommendation, at least like if you scroll past like the first like section, it's all like Indian films, German films, everything like that. And I was just like, I was watching this typewriter film that I had no idea was like in a completely another language until I clicked on it, because like everything else is in English, and like they kind of like I don't think they're necessarily trying to trap you, but they're trying to like definitely introduce you to other countries like movie culture. And I think that's actually really interesting because like there's a lot of good movies in other countries that we don't get enough like exposure on.
Right. And I mean, an example is Parasite. It's nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah.
It's a Korean film. Actually, second year in a row that I mean, Roma was in Spanish and Parasite's in Korean. That's 2 years in a row that we have a foreign film that's nominated for Best Picture.
You know, it was a really good Korean movie, actually. It was Train to Busan. I believe that was Korean.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really good movie.
I haven't seen it.
They're coming out with another one soon, so I mention it.
Okay. But I just think it's interesting that Netflix has a very, they're kind of cementing their presence in the award season this year, and I think, I think from now on, I don't think people are going to be able to say anything about Netflix having.
Yeah.
And I know they have been extending their theater releases. The Irishman was in theaters for quite a while. So maybe that will placate some of the people who are upset that Netflix is kind of,
treading on their feet a little bit.
Yeah, kind of entering their territory.
Yeah. Okay, so Best Picture. What do you think? Which one do you like? What if you had to pick for one? Which one would you want to pick? Or do top three if you can't pick one?
Yeah. So for a while, I know which ones I can't pick. So I haven't seen Ford versus Ferrari, Jojo Rabbit, Little Women, or Marriage Story.
Okay.
I'm hoping to see those in the next few weeks before the awards, but definitely not Joker.
Really?
I really, yeah.
So I actually haven't seen that many of these.
Yeah.
Because I've been like on a movie hiatus for the past year. I'm pretty sure the only one I've actually seen is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, and that was pretty recent that you saw it. Yeah. Yeah. Joker. Yeah, I have a weird. Well, we'll get to that in a sec.
Okay.
But for a while, I've been thinking Parasite.
Okay.
Parasite is just awesome in every aspect. Well shot, well written, awesome acting, great story. Like all around. A really, really awesome film, and I think it would be really cool to see the foreign language film win. But then this past weekend I saw 1917, and I think I might be rooting for that now.
I have a question for you about. So do you think that they might just scuff it off to the foreign film section and give it the award in that, so they can give the an American movie the award in here? Because it's nominated in the foreign film section too, right?
It is, yes.
Yeah.
It's nominated for the best international feature film.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot. They changed it to international feature film.
I think if it doesn't, I am guessing it's not going to win Best Picture.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I would say it probably wins international feature film. That wouldn't surprise me at all. But then I saw 1917 this past weekend, and my views might have shifted a little bit, and the reason for that. So,
I actually really want to go see that now. Like I saw a couple of trailers for it. It looks really good.
Highly recommend it. If anybody's listening to this podcast and you haven't seen 1917 yet, go out as soon as you can and see it on the biggest screen available to you, because it's really, I don't see 1917 is also nominated for best cinematography, and I don't see a world where it doesn't win that award, because in case you were unaware, the movie is shot and edited to appear as if it's one take, as if it's one continuous take. So the movie plays out in real time for the most part. There's one real cut in the middle that they kind of work into the story, because they needed to advance time more than they could, and it's just fantastic. Like the first like 20 minutes of the movie, I'm watching it and like looking for the hidden cuts, it's like, oh, they swished in front of a tree. That's probably
You're
a cut
trying
there.
to find them.
Like I was trying to figure out how they did it, because it's like a magic trick. It's like this huge, big, they had to do so much planning in advance to get this to work. They would they had the whole script and they had to pace out the whole script and like how many steps it was going to take people to walk this distance. And then once they did that, it's a World War I movie, in case you didn't guess from the date. So once they knew how far the actors had to walk, then they had to dig all the trenches to fit these people into and build all the sets and everything so that it would time out correctly for each shot. And it just comes together so beautiful. It's, I walked out of the theater and I was like, that was a piece of cinema. Like that was, everything had to come together perfectly for that to work. And it's not the most ingenious story, or like the acting's great, but you know, it's not like it's like it's the best script or the best, you know, like concept or anything like that, but just the execution was just absolutely incredible. And the amount of variety in the shots and sets that they were able to get, even though it's all playing out in real time, is just absolutely fantastic. There's a specific scene that I won't ruin in the middle that once that scene started playing out, for the rest of the movie, I was like, wow, this is something else. So I highly recommend that if you haven't seen it yet. And
I think I'm going to go try. I'm going to try to see as many as I can before the 9th. So
yeah,
probably go out and try to
definitely
see that this week
definitely see it in the theaters. It is one to see on a big screen because it's just visually stunning, and the pacing of it is. I really like the pacing of it. It kind of comes in waves, like where something really dramatic will be happening, and then it'll be a lull, and then something dramatic will happen, and it'll be a lull. Which, I mean, that happens in a lot of movies, but this it's just really apparent because it's all sequential. It's all it's all happening in real time. And there were just some moments where I just had no idea how they did it. Like,
did you figure out most of them, or were you just like?
I mean, most of the time it was like, oh, okay, they passed in front of a tree. You could hide a cut there, or they, you know, swish pan the camera across the wall. It looked
pretty seamless, though.
Oh, it looked. I mean, it's not like you could say, oh, there was a cut. You know,
okay,
it's I think it's only because, I knew what to look for.
Yeah.
When I knew they could hide a cut, but then there were some scenes where it was like, wow, I just watched 7 minutes of a movie and there was nowhere to hide a cut. You know, they just did a piece of theater that they caught on film.
Yeah.
Because there was nowhere for them to cut, which is crazy. And then there were some times where it was like, okay, the camera just made a move that I have no idea how they did that, you know, because it was like, first we were looking at this angle and we see that there's nowhere for the camera to go, but then the camera goes there, and it's really, really, really cool. And then you also, like, you kind of settle into it to where, like, you don't notice anymore that it's all one take kind of, and you're like, this is how all movies are. Which is how movies kind of feel when the editing is good. You don't notice the cuts. You know, it all just feels like it's happening sequentially.
Yeah.
Perfectly.
Once upon a time in Hollywood had that feel.
Yeah, it all just feels seamless. And so this one kind of, you get the same vibe. But so I think that might be my pick for Best Picture now.
Obviously, so since I haven't seen the other movies, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood has to be mine. It was a really good movie though. And obviously, it's been getting a lot of hype, so there's actually probably a good chance it might. But I don't know. I've heard good things about The Irishman, and so hopefully, I can see all these movies and have a better opinion on this. And
if I had to guess, I'd say probably Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Okay. I might have to refrain my opinions next week, though. So
yeah,
we'll see.
I think of these movies, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It was very popular. It hit a really big audience. It's got
so did the Joker, though.
Yeah, Joker.
Okay, what's your gripe with the Joker?
Well, okay,
because I have a friend who posted a very long post about how like they don't like the Joker because it helps like support like the mental illness and stuff, or like it makes
fuck that. I don't. Okay,
no, not that. It's not that reasoning.
That's not why I don't like it. I just don't like it
go.
because I just don't think it's a very good movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, there was all the stuff about like people saying it's going to promote violence, and like, you know, I just think that's just a load
it's
of
kind of like it's a little snowflakey.
That's just a load of bullshit. Like, come on, you know.
Like I respect their opinions. Obviously, he's my friend, so I respect his opinion on it and stuff. But like,
if you watch,
I don't agree with like that point of view.
If you watch the movie, it's very clear. It's like nobody would want to be this guy. Nobody would want to emulate this guy. But I just don't think it's an awesome movie. Like it felt like it got a lot of hype, and I don't think it was very well written. Like it felt like every time somebody was about to say something, I was like, oh, I bet they're going to say this. And then they'd say it. And it was like, that's no fun. You know, when they're going,
you can guess the entire movie.
When you can guess what they're going to say. And there were a lot of cliches and like, the climax of the movie just didn't really do anything for me. Okay. I thought it was like it was competent, and Joaquin Phoenix was amazing. He put on a great performance.
Yeah.
I also,
all the scenes that I've seen from it, he just seemed really into it. So
I also kind of have a little bit of so he's nominated for Best Actor, and I kind of have a little bit of a gripe about that too. But
okay, we'll talk about that when we get there then.
Yeah, it's I don't know, like it was fine, like it was shot well. It was, you know, like nothing. There were some really good parts of it, but it just didn't like. I don't know. I guess it didn't surprise me enough. Like there were some twists that were happening, but it was like, oh, I saw that coming from 20 minutes out.
Yeah.
Or yeah, I don't know. Also, Todd Phillips, the director, seems like just kind of a douchebag.
Okay, fair.
Like I've seen interviews with him talking about his process for directing this movie, and you can just tell that he thinks he's just the best auteur of this generation, and it's like, dude, no. You're the Hangover guy. Like this movie was good. It was good. Like I'm kind of trashing on it, but it was good. It was fine.
Yeah.
It was passable. It wasn't quite as great as I wanted it to be, but it's not like there's nothing like super wrong with it. Like I said, it's competent in most regards.
Okay.
But
all right. So that was Best Picture, though.
That was Best Picture.
Let's get into Best Actor. So for Best Actor, we have Jonathan Pryce, Adam Driver, Antonio Banderas, Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin.
Wow.
Joaquin
I knew how to say that too, and I still flundered on it.
Joaquin Phoenix.
I feel racist saying that, to be honest. It's like the first episode of Star Wars. And then Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm going to say this. Leonardo DiCaprio, we were talking about this in the car over here, but like Leonardo DiCaprio
does grain of salt because this is the only movie that Josh watched this year.
No, that's not true. Leonardo DiCaprio does not get enough love for that movie.
It's true, yeah.
Don't grain of salt me. It's true.
Okay, but you haven't seen any of the other
but
movies
Brad
on
Pitt.
the
Well,
list.
but like talking about in this isolated like world of like just like between Brad Pitt and Leo. I mean, like Brad Pitt's getting all love. Yeah, he looks great. He did a fantastic job and everything. But like Leo just melts into that role, man. It's just the stutter. Everything just feels so like natural.
We were talking about this earlier. It was like I feel like Brad Pitt's getting most of the love for his performance in this movie, but and he was fantastic also. But it was just like for me, I really liked Leonardo DiCaprio's character, and he just his acting was just off the charts.
I think for Best Actor, I would give it to Adam Driver in this case.
You haven't seen the movie,
not for Marriage Story. I actually think that. For Rise of Skywalker.
No.
Hold on.
Fuck you.
Let me defend myself.
No.
Okay. Adam Driver had the smallest amount of script to work with to make the turn to the light side believable. And I think he did a pretty good job about making that believable. Like the small runway they had.
I just can't.
I've heard him.
You're not going to get me on this side of the
okay, he's a great actor though.
He is a great actor.
He's so good. He did such a good job as Kylo. Kylo was one of the best parts about that movie. So compelling. They just wrote him pretty fucking well. And like, I just think that he deserves a little bit more credit for kind of carrying that entire series on his back and making everything believable.
The day of Star Wars.
Also, I just respect him a lot for going from Marine to actor. Like,
okay, that's not a reason to throw
it's
Star Wars a bone.
But like, well, okay. But like, Star Wars was not the worst movie of the year.
Oh, right. Yeah, but it's not Best Picture.
No.
It's not. It's nothing. Like, the day a Star Wars movie, like, okay, Star Wars can win.
What do you mean the day of Star Wars? The Star Wars, original Star Wars won tons.
Yeah, I know, but not Best Picture. They can win visual effects. They can win.
And sound effects.
Yeah, they can win that stuff, but like, come on.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think it should be nominated. Yes, Rise of Skywalker was a lot of issues.
No, but like, also, I just don't, I can't get behind it. He's an incredible actor. You should watch Marriage Story and then say that the scenes I've seen from it, he seems great. So I'm really excited to see Marriage Story. But I think it's honestly between Leonardo DiCaprio in this and Adam Driver. Oh, really?
I don't know. Well, from the ones I haven't seen anything about Jonathan Pryce or Antonio Banderas.
I think Joaquin might win.
I think he might win just because of popularity, but I mean like of actual acting.
Which makes me he had a great performance. It was like, and honestly, if I would say it is an Oscar-worthy performance by him. Like I'm not mad that he's nominated, but also in my heart, my favorite movie is The Dark Knight.
Okay.
And
Heath Ledger, don't think he can.
Heath Ledger won the best actor in a supporting role posthumously for his portrayal of the Joker. And in my heart, I kind of like that. One, that's the only Academy Award for acting for a superhero movie. Still, for a comic book movie, Heath Ledger's the only one who's won an Oscar for a performance in a superhero movie. So I like that. I like that he's the only one, and I also, especially since it's Joker, like it would feel kind of like it's not like, you know, it just feel like it would lessen the significance of Heath Ledger having that award, of being the only one, and also it
I
and
get
because
that.
it's the Joker. So I
think
kind of don't want Joaquin to win just because, you know,
it's the issue that the Genie had though. It's like, yeah, Will Ferrell did a good.
Will Ferrell.
Wow.
Yeah.
Will Smith did a good job, but like you can never beat out the original Genie of Robin Williams. Like,
Right.
It's just you have to pass off the mantle at some point though, and I think like he did a fantastic job. Like obviously Heath Ledger is the best Joker.
Okay, I wasn't sure if we were talking about Genie or Joker again.
Joker again, and like I think obviously Heath Ledger will always be in our hearts the best Joker, but like at some point, since he unfortunately has passed away, you have to pass off the mantle so you can continue the story.
In my head, I like knowing that like, oh, the guy who won an Oscar for playing the Joker is Heath Ledger. Like I don't want to have to be like, oh, which one? You know?
Okay.
I don't want to have to be like, oh, do you mean Heath Ledger? Do you mean Joaquin Phoenix? So that's kind of my gripe about that. I think he's got a good shot. But yeah, that would make me a little bit sad. I don't know. I am biased because Dark Knight's my favorite movie, and
okay. So then, who on this list would you think is gonna win, or not gonna win, but would you want to win?
I would say DiCaprio. I would root for DiCaprio.
You think he's gonna get 2 Oscars in a row, ending the memes completely?
Not in a row, but
not in a row. Sorry, yeah, you're right.
But I would be very, very satisfied if he won, because I think that performance was
really good.
Really, really, really good. I haven't seen Pain and Glory or The Two Popes.
Yeah, neither have I.
Or Marriage Story, actually. So
I'm really excited for Marriage Story. Heard Adam Driver's great in it. I like Adam Driver a lot, and I think
he's definitely a fantastic actor and
one of the best shreds of the Star Wars franchise this time around.
I've heard that Marriage Story is basically just Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson just like throwing their acting chops at each other, who can out act, you know, like.
And they're both great actors and actresses, so it's gonna be good. I'm excited to watch it.
So
I like how we're talking about it like it's not out yet, and like we're unable to see it.
Yeah, I know. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. So like before the Oscars, I will definitely have watched Marriage Story because it's on Netflix, and probably The Two Popes because it's on Netflix.
Yep. Same.
You should definitely watch The Irishman if you can carve out 3.5 hours.
Yeah. I'll put it on before I go to bed.
Yeah. You should watch it.
You laugh. I'm not kidding.
And you'll fall asleep.
Will I?
It's 3.5 hours.
Oh, okay. You should put it on at like 10.
Yeah, it'll be done at 1 a.m.
That's fine.
You should put it on like first thing in the morning, so it's
okay.
You're fresh.
I do wake up like 3 hours before my class tomorrow, so maybe I'll watch it tomorrow morning.
Yeah, it's it doesn't feel that long. It doesn't feel that long. Good. It feels like a long movie, maybe like 2.5, 2:40, but not 3.5.
Okay. All right. That was best actor. Do you want to do best supporting actor?
We could let's see. We don't have to do all of them. I was looking at the actresses, but I have seen none of the movies that the best actresses are in.
Yeah.
Which are Richard Jewell, Marriage Story, Jojo Rabbit, and Little Women. I really want to see Jojo Rabbit.
Margot Robbie was in 2 fantastic. She does not get enough love, I think, in my opinion. She does not get enough love. She's a fantastic actress. She won. She won an Oscar. Sharon Tate in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, though. She like made that character so likable. She was great in Harley Quinn. She was great as Harley Quinn. Is she in the new Birds of Prey movie? I can't remember. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. She's gonna be fantastic. And what
was I gonna say? She won for I, Tonya, I think, a couple years ago. Oh, maybe not. I lied, but
good job lying. But yeah, so I think she's great, and I hope she wins. Yeah. I hope she wins best. We could talk about best directing.
Wait, so she won or she's nominated for best supporting?
Yeah, she's nominated for best support,
but not for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She's nominated.
Yeah, no, she's not.
For Bombshell.
Yeah, she's nominated for Bombshell.
I have not seen. Yeah. So.
Okay, let's talk about.
She wasn't really in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood enough, I think, to be.
Yeah, because
she didn't really have any lines.
Storylines, and honestly, like whenever she was on screen, I was always like, "Oh yeah, that's right, Sharon Tate's."
You can't really win an Oscar for saying I'm in the movie.
Yeah, like, exactly. But she was fantastic, and she made the character very likable.
She did a good job, but I don't think she was in it enough.
The scene that sticks out for me is that movie theater scene where she just slowly cracks a smile about being in it. It was great. It was lovely. And I think I'm a little bit biased because I'm an actor as well, so that's like how I would like react pretty much to going to a movie with me in it.
Yeah.
Let's do best director. I feel like though, because that's pretty on par for what we want to do.
Best director. All right.
Nominated are Quentin Tarantino for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Todd Phillips for Joker, Bong Joon-ho for Parasite, Martin Scorsese for The Irishman, and Sam Mendes for 1917.
I've actually seen all of these movies. This is good.
Good. I have not.
I'm actually, you've seen one of them. I'm trying to think, like, for directing, like what makes it, like
I'm actually in a directing class right now, so I like this.
Like, so the directors, like, we like to think of the director as the author of the movie.
Kind of, yeah. No, a director's job should be like that. They should be invisible. Like you shouldn't be like, oh, that was a good directing choice.
Yeah, to get everything to come together. So, I can rule out Joker. Todd Phillips can go suck a dick. Honestly,
Martin Scorsese is just like recognizable. And
Scorsese,
so is Tarantino, though. Tarantino, he did a great job with directing Once Upon a Time.
Yeah.
I don't know how he did in comparison to the rest of them, but
I think I didn't like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood quite as much as most people who saw it. It was good. It just wasn't one of my favorites of the year. So
there was a lot of downtime in that movie that I did not like.
Yeah.
But it's just like this, like the Brad Pitt in the gypsy camp. I really like that. I really like all the action scenes. I really like that.
Yeah.
Gypsy's an offensive term. I think
that's right. Don't say that. Hippies. They were hippies.
Oh yeah, they were hippies.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm just racist.
Yeah.
You can sorry, Romani. No, I'm not going to. But I liked a lot of the action movies, and like from an actor's point of view, I thought like the saloon was really interesting. But there was just like a lot of like dead time in that movie.
That I think was my favorite sequence in the movie was the when they were playing out that saloon scene as if it was happening, as if we were watching that movie. And then
which time? The time where Leo cries or before?
What do you mean?
Well, because they do that one time where he forgets his lines and then they go back.
Just the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
Like it starts. It starts with him playing around and then he forgets his lines and then we realize, we're brings you back out. It's like a little movie within a movie. Yeah, I really liked that.
It's great.
I liked that whole sequence and that was some great acting, and it was
whoever that little girl is, I don't know her name. She did a good job of like being very believable in that. Usually kid actors suck. I'm just gonna say it. Kid actors usually suck.
But there was also a lot of that movie that I didn't really think needed it. Like Margot Robbie in the movie theater. I was like, why am I watching this particular part? Why am I watching Brad Pitt fix this antenna? Like, why am I,
Yeah, that was a little weird. I think it was just to get that flashback in of like why he's not allowed on set to give him a reason for not being there.
That could happen. It's a flashback. You could do that anywhere. I don't know.
I thought it was gonna lead into like Margot Robbie seeing him shirtless and then like
doing something.
Not like doing something, but just getting like a little infatuated. Yeah. That would lead to them like finally meeting and stuff. But that didn't. Although that was pretty close.
No,
felt like it. So.
Yeah, I don't know. It was. I would say for directing, Parasite could do it. Honestly, like I'd be okay with any of them. Probably not Joker. I think Quentin Tarantino's got a good shot. Probably Scorsese's got a good shot.
Yeah. There was a lot of just big name actors in that movie too.
Yeah.
Like who played Charles Manson? Wasn't Tarantino? Didn't Tarantino play Charles Manson?
No. It's
I thought I looked that up at one point. I was like, that did not seem like it was Tarantino.
What's his name?
I don't know. I like looked that up after I saw the movie, and it just said Tarantino. I was like, that doesn't sound right or look right.
And that guy was in it for literally like 4 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't even know if they give him a credit.
Oh no, he would definitely get it. I mean, he's
Remember, you're only a good actor if you have a bunch of IMDb credits.
He's a real actor. I'm gonna have to scroll really far.
Okay, you don't have to worry about it then.
No, we're committed now.
Okay, we're committed. I'll keep talking then. Yeah, there was just like a lot of big names that I was like not necessarily expecting in that movie. I don't know. Also, whoever played the Polanskis did a really good job. That was a fun little guy. And then I don't know. I guess spoilers for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, this is it's been out for Damon Harriman.
Damon Harriman.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what I've seen him in other stuff before, but I'm trying.
Yeah, his names sound familiar.
Shit. Man. Sorry. I'm like deep in IMDb right now.
Yeah, no, you're good. I'll talk about music for a little bit. So I didn't mention this on the last podcast, but I played classical and jazz saxophone for 8 years, and so
we're talking about music now.
Yeah,
just cause.
Well, no, I'm gonna go to the best score.
Oh,
best music score.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I was just giving my background. And so I played and listened to a bunch of music. I have a bunch of like producer friends and stuff. So like one of the things I like listening to is like the sound design of movies and stuff, but also like the score, as most people do. I think Star Wars has just such a like unique score. Just like you get that nostalgia factor, but it's also kind of like beating a dead horse sometimes. I'm not gonna lie.
It's
But
true.
like
Everybody knows Star Wars has a good score.
John Williams does a fantastic job. All the like his use of music in that movie is just so. I mean, I guess it's not really technically his like, use of it, but like it's just so iconic and so good, and it was used very, very well. And the subtle score is just made like all the emotional moments feel more impactful. I don't know, how was Thomas Newman in 1917? Did the music really draw you in?
The music, I'm trying to think. I think I might have been so focused on the imagery that the music, like.
I think just Star Wars has to win Best Music Score just because it's like
Yeah.
a lot of movies like they use music to like help it, but Star Wars just uses music as like an actual like trope itself. Like once you hear the Force theme, you know something's gonna happen with like the Force, and they just incorporate it so much. It's like a sound effect for them.
Yeah. I remember Joker's score being good. Joker can win best score in my head. Joker can win score. That's what I'll give it.
That's what you'll get.
It cannot win best picture or directing or actor in a leading role, but it can win best score.
Okay. All right, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that.
Now I feel bad that I'm not remembering the 1917 score very much.
Les Miserables is on best foreign film for language again, which is weird to me.
I haven't seen this. It's not what you think.
What, Les Mis?
It's not Les Mis.
Oh, really?
It's not Les Mis. It's a different thing.
Okay, that makes sense.
I was like, that's just the same name.
That'd be very.
We don't have to talk about that one because we know Parasite's gonna win.
Unless
Parasite wins Best Picture, the underdog, then they probably won't let it win International Feature Film. But
wait,
can't win both.
Joker was nominated twice for Best Adapted Screenplay, or is it just Todd Phillips and Scott Silver? I think it's probably Todd Phillips and Scott Silver that were in.
Yeah. That was the other gripe I had with Joker.
Taika Waititi, he should win something. He was great. He saved Thor, the franchise.
I really want to see Jojo Rabbit before the Oscars. Yeah, it kind of came and went without me getting to see it, but I would really like that. Yeah. I think we've covered most of the big ones.
Yeah, no, we kind of like, because then we're just getting like best cinematography, best sound mixing, and things like that. So it's like
1917 has to win best cinematography.
Best visual effects. Endgame was nominated for best visual effects. I don't think it should win that
because you're gonna say Star Wars.
I think Star Wars should win it. Honestly, yeah.
Fuck that. No.
Which one? Okay, out of the list, which one do you think should win it then? Star Wars, Endgame, 1917, Lion King, and Irishman.
Okay, well, not the Lion King and they're nominating the Irishman for the de-aging. No, not the Lion King or the Irishman.
You got to give it to Rise of Skywalker because 1917 is all practicals, aren't it? Isn't it?
No. There's it's a war movie.
So they probably used a lot of practicals.
Big plane crashes and stuff.
Oh,
and all the stuff they had to do to get it to look like one shot. That was all visual effects. No, I don't know.
You really just do not want to give Star Wars anything, do you?
I'm sorry, it was a bad movie.
I mean, okay, it wasn't the greatest movie, but it was better than The Last Jedi.
Okay, so it's better than a horrible movie.
Yeah,
by a little bit.
Last Jedi wasn't it was pretty bad. I was about to defend The Last Jedi.
Also,
listen to my Star Wars podcast to find my opinions on that.
Yeah,
I'll plug in that.
On it.
Yeah. Costume design, production design. The costumes are always just so good in like every movie. I don't know. Just costume designers always just nail it.
Yeah. I'd say it'll probably be like Little Women. Period pieces usually do really well with the costumes.
Oh, you think that's one that's going to win?
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't
Jacqueline Duran, shout out to you.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the movie, but it looks like you nailed it.
Yep.
Okay. I think we've kind of covered the big ones.
Yeah.
We kind of already hit our recommends too.
Yeah. I mean, we can like go into went into depth about
1917 and why everybody should go see that, and we kind of hit Once Upon a Time in Hollywood pretty hard. All right.
Well, this has been the Fix It and Post podcast. Thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening to our Oscar discussion February 9th. Everybody should watch it so that they keep doing them.
And our nominations are any of the Oscar movies this week, I feel like. Our nominations, recommendations.
Oh, yeah. Anything, we've pretty much hit a bunch of high points of stuff that you should see before for this.
And then another recommendation is go listen to episode 1, Baghead.
Yeah, go listen to our first episode. Baghead.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
All right.